The forest was alive with whispers, not of wind through the trees, but of wings brushing past leaves, of small creatures darting for cover. Alira, a young dragon girl, had wandered far from her family's ancestral grounds. Her wings, still weak from her first year of flight, ached with every flutter. Panic clawed at her chest as the shadows of the forest grew longer and darker. She had lost her way, and the sky she had once known felt impossibly far. Why did I think I could explore alone? She murmured, her golden eyes glinting with unshed tears. Her tail twitched nervously as she stumbled over a gnarled root. A low growl echoed through the woods, and she froze, the sound unfamiliar yet deeply frightening. It was then she saw him a human, tall, unassuming, with a calm presence that seemed entirely out of place in the chaotic wilderness of dragons. He was crouched by a fallen log, examining something with keen interest. His eyes, a deep brown, met hers, and immediately she felt an inexplicable sense of safety. "Hey," the human said softly, raising a hand in greeting. "Are you lost?" Alira tilted her head, unsure if she should trust him. Dragon instincts screamed to flee, but something about him, his steady voice, his calm demeanor, was oddly compelling. "I can't find my home," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. The human nodded, as if he understood the gravity of her situation. "Don't worry. I'll help you." It was remarkable, really, how effortlessly he moved through the forest. Every step was precise, every glance calculated. He didn't rush her or panic, and for the first time since she had wandered off, Alira felt hope. They walked together through the dense forest, the human occasionally pointing out safe paths and warning her of unstable branches. Hours passed. The forest seemed endless, yet the human never faltered. He carried a small pack, and every so often he would offer her berries or water from a flask. Simple acts, yet to Alira they felt monumental. "You're different from the other humans," she said quietly as they paused near a stream. They usually fear dragons or hunt them." The human smiled, shaking his head. "I've never understood that. You're intelligent, strong, and, well, honestly, fascinating. Fear doesn't make sense here." Alira's heart fluttered not from the exhaustion, but from something she hadn't expected: admiration. Humans were small and fragile compared to dragons, yet this one displayed courage, empathy, and patience in a way that few dragons did. By late afternoon, the forest began to thin, revealing a path that led to the outskirts of a magnificent city. Towering spires glinted in the sunlight, and massive gates carved with intricate dragon motifs welcomed travelers. That's my home," Alira whispered, wings trembling. Relief washed over her in waves. But just as she turned to thank him, her stomach dropped. The massive gates swung open, and a dragon woman emerged. She was regal, radiating authority and power with every graceful movement. Her scales shimmered in shades of emerald and gold, and her eyes piercing yet warm-fixed on her daughter, Alira. The dragon mother's voice was both commanding and relieved. She rushed forward, wrapping her daughter in a protective embrace. The human stepped back instinctively, unsure how to approach. Yet before he could retreat, the dragon mother's eyes shifted to him. And then something remarkable happened. "You," she said, her gaze narrowing with curiosity. "You are the one who helped my daughter." The human straightened, meeting her gaze without fear. "Yes, ma'am. She was lost in the forest. I I helped her find her way back. For a moment, the dragon mother simply studied him. There was a silence, heavy and charged, as if the entire city had paused to witness this encounter. Then, surprisingly, she laughed a rich, melodic sound that resonated like the chiming of bells. "You humans are unusual," she said, her tone amused yet approving. "Most would run, or worse. You showed courage, patience, and kindness. That is rare." Alira looked up at her mother, then back at the human. "Mother, he didn't just help me. He saved me. I don't even know how to thank him." The dragon mother's gaze softened, and she turned her attention back to the human. "You have my gratitude, but more than that, you have my respect. How did you come to act with such bravery?" The human shrugged modestly. "I guess I just treat people how I hope to be treated. I can't leave anyone in danger if I can help it." The dragon mother's eyes sparkled, a human with honor, intelligence, and courage. "Perhaps the legends of your kind are not entirely exaggerated." She turned to her daughter. "Alira, you have made a wise choice in trusting him." Alira's cheeks flushed slightly. "I didn't choose him. He chose to help me." The dragon mother smiled knowingly. "Exactly." There was a brief pause as the city gates closed behind them, signaling the end of Alira's ordeal, but not the end of their story. The human had been invited into the city, escorted by the dragon mother herself. The citizens whispered among themselves, marveling at the human who dared to enter the dragon domain and lived to tell the tale. Over dinner in the dragon family's grand hall, the human found himself sitting across from the dragon mother. Golden scales shimmered in the candlelight, and jewels embedded in her crown reflected the flickering flames. Yet despite her imposing presence, she treated him as an equal, asking questions about his world, his life, and his experiences. "You humans have a saying," she said, intrigued, "about the measure of a person being in their actions rather than their power. Is this true?" The human nodded. "Yes, it's not about how strong you are or how many can serve you. It's about what you choose to do when someone needs help." The dragon mother leaned back, clearly impressed. "Then you are one of the rare humans who embody this truth. You are welcome here, and I would be honored if you remain under my roof for a time. There is much you can learn from my family, and perhaps much we can learn from you." Alira's eyes shone with excitement. "You can stay?" she asked, unable to hide her joy. The human smiled, a hint of humility and pride mingling in his expression. "If you'll have me." Thus began a new chapter in both their lives. One was a dragon girl who had learned that trust could be a bridge between worlds. The other, a human stranger, who had discovered that courage, kindness, and honor could open doors to unimaginable places. And at the heart of it all, a wealthy dragon mother who recognized the rare value of a human creature who defied expectations and inspired hope. As night fell over the city, Alira watched her new friend from her balcony. He looked small under the moonlight, but in her heart he was monumental. The world of dragons, once terrifying and foreign, suddenly seemed brighter, filled with possibility, and somewhere deep inside, she knew this was only the beginning. Asterisk.